As content creators, we use microphones to tell our stories. But sometimes, those mics have stories of their own. This is the AT4033a. I bought this microphone exactly 9 years ago, and it was my first real microphone. And it set me off on a journey of home recording like I had never anticipated. So today I'm going to tell you how I came about this microphone. And coincidentally, this microphone also is the first and only time that I've ever been catfished online. So back in 2014, when I was determined to start doing voiceover work, I was researching a lot of different microphones. And one of the mics that kept coming up at that time was the AT4040. And I watched whatever reviews I could online. And I thought, okay, well, it would probably suit my voice pretty good. What I really liked about those AT40 series microphones back then was that they were super low noise, and the preamp I was using was a Scarlett 2i2 first gen. So like anyone who is starting something new, who wants to save a couple bucks, I was looking on Craigslist for gently used microphones. And I happened to come across a listing for an Audio-Technica AT4040 for $175. And yeah, for a microphone that I think retailed at that time for like $300, that seemed like a good deal. So if you don't know, Craigslist back then was like the wild, wild west. And you never kind of knew who was behind any given sales listing. But fortunately for me, this listing was put up by a production company who had a whole bunch of excess gear that they were just trying to pare down. And they happened to only be about 45 minutes away from me. So I hop in my car, drive up to New Hampshire, and go visit this production company. And the guy I met there, his name is Rick, I think, was super nice. He showed me the microphone. It came in the original box with all of the accessories and all of the original documentation. They had a retail section, so he, was able to take my credit card, and I walked away with a microphone that I thought was awesome. Got an AT4040 for $175. Run back home, throw it into the shock mount, into my recording area, which at that time was like a 3x3 closet in my house, plug it into my Scarlett 2i2, and yeah, I'm off to the races. And I used this microphone for a solid 6 months, launching my voiceover career. In hindsight, I wish I had done a better job of documenting which microphones I used to record which jobs way back then, because while I know I recorded paid work with it, I couldn't go back 9 years and figure out which recordings those actually were. And I thought I sounded pretty good on this mic. I mean, I hopefully still do. But then 6 months later, I was really looking for a microphone that had a tighter pickup pattern than what the AT4040 had. So I get a CAD E100S and I go to take down this mic. And as I look at the back, I realize it says AT4033a. And I was like, what? I swear I bought an AT4040. Now, if you don't know, from what I've gathered, Audio-Technica first launched the AT4033 series, and then the AT4040 was to replace that lineup, I think in a more budget-friendly way. I think it had something to do with the internals being surface-mounted or not, or something like that. But I was like, what? 6 months later, and I come to find out I was catfished because I thought I was buying an AT4040, and it turns out to be an AT4033. Now, don't get me wrong. I guess it was catfished in the best way, because looking back on it now, the AT4033 is probably a more expensive mic than the AT4040 was. And so at $175 for a slightly pre-owned used model, I was probably getting a much better deal. But you know what? I said, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the box, because I was packing this away in anticipation of using my new CAD E100S. And so, yeah, I grabbed the box and I look at the label, and wouldn't you know it, it says AT4033CL. What the f? And really, the point of this whole story is that if you are someone who is new to microphones and home studios and recording, look, I was right there with you at one point where I couldn't tell the difference between one microphone and the next, how or why they would sound different, what I actually was buying or not buying. And ultimately, years later, I can look back and be like, hey, I got a steal of a mic. back in 2014. So really, that's it for this video. I just wanted to give you a little bit of a glimpse into some of my microphone history, break out some of these guys that I haven't used in a number of years, and yeah, show you gear that I otherwise wouldn't show you in my normal content. So if you like these kinds of videos that give you a glimpse into my microphone history, let me know down in the comments below. If you have any questions about the AT4033a or AT4033cl or AT4040, let me know down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk again real soon.